here's a small variation you can do that adds a lot of pop to your shot. So do everything as before. Set your background first, get your light on your subject, make sure that looks beautiful. But what happens if your subject is wearing something a little bit dark, or you want to separate your subject from the background? You could do a mixed lighting situation where I actually use a flash as backlight. Now you might be going, well, Scott, why don't you just use a video light? Well, when you want to create a rim light around your subject, you need a lot of power. So the flash can be up to 100, even 200 times more powerful than a video light. And so you need that juice to fire and create a beautiful rim light around my subject. I'm shooting that flash. I set it to 1/4 power. Now, that was just a process of me placing the flash back there. I started off at 1/64 power. It looked cool, but I wanted it brighter. And so how much backlight you use is up to your own personal taste. So I settled for 1/4 power. Now, 1/4 power is many, 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 many times more powerful than the light that I have on my subject. So that's why I like to use mixed lighting, is because my flash is so much stronger and it works perfect for backlight. So let's do it right now. Okay, so I got my exposure set up perfectly and I got my flash firing and creates an awesome rim light around her. And that is so cool. It separates her from the background. I'm gonna take a few shots like this, and then I'm gonna take a few shots just like that. That's awesome there. Wait, hold it one more time. 1, 2, good. And again, one more. My flash didn't go off. 1, 2. I think my battery's dying. 1, 2, good, perfect. And let me do one close up, just with your shoulders and your face. Yeah, just like that. And 1, 2, one more. 1, 2. All right, so this is a perfect way to create a variation with you just did, to add a little separation between your subject and the background. You need to do it, well, I love doing it when shooting in low light because the background can be so dark sometimes. You just need a little rim around your subject, and using a flash and a video light is a perfect way to create a mixed lighting low light shot. Another amazing little trick that you can do that adds a lot of pop and wow into your photos are using these little fairy lights here, okay? And I love this effect, especially when I put it towards my camera. So the first thing is that you have your subject hold it. And what you're doing is kind of creating a leading line, but I call it more of a bokeh line to your lens, okay? Now, if you're using a long lens and you're shooting in low light, you gotta make sure that your shutter speed is at least the length of the lens. I'm using a 135 lens, so I gotta and I just realized, you know what? I was shooting at 50th of a second. I needed to raise my shutter speed a little bit higher, so I moved it over past 100, okay? So that makes sure that everything is tight, okay, and sharp. So now what I'm doing is creating that depth of the fairy lights is gonna create different sizes of the bokeh behind. And what I'm doing is, you can't line it up perfectly because they move around, so I just shoot in continuous and I just move these lights around, and that way I sort of get something, and then I'll kind of just move it back and forth and shoot through it. And this time you don't really want to worry about, you know, using memory, because you don't have to worry about that. You want to get the shot. And so sometimes focus could be difficult too. And so therefore I had mine on auto tracking, what I had to do is actually toggle it to the spot and put it right on her eye, because the camera didn't know what to focus on. Sometimes it's trying to focus on the light or her hand or whatever's moving, and it doesn't know. So sometimes when you're doing this, you have to tell it. And so I'm telling it, focus on that darn eye. You're gonna see all this stuff go around that focus point, but we don't want you to get off that eye. That's right what I'm trying to do. So let's take a few more shots. And if you can move one step closer there, that's perfect. And we're gonna do these shots right there. Let's try shooting this way for a bit. And look back at me. Beautiful. Wait, one more time, hold it. I'm gonna just let a little bit of light in. Step back one step. I wanna get that light on your face a little bit more, right? And you're gonna turn your nose to that light a little bit, right there, and you're gonna look back at me with your eyes. Beautiful. Awesome. Okay, so again, a great prop to use. These little fairy lights, right? Have the subject hold it, string that light to your lens, and just kind of move it around, shooting in continuous mode so you can get the shot, because it's very hard to just line it up and shoot it, okay? And you can do that with constant light. It's very easy because you don't have to wait for the light to recycle. This is a great shot using the fairy lights and giving you that bokeh effect that creates that wow.